Hey guys, Heiden here. I'm back, and I'm back with a brand new computer. For those of you who are in my Discord, you know the specs, but for those of you who don't, you should come to the Discord and find out about it. This thing is amazing. I got it set up to play the game, and I've got it set up to do recording, but I don't know if I have all the settings dialed in. So if you see anything irregular, if you feel like the graphics aren't right, if the video quality doesn't seem right compared to what I put out before, please let me know in the comments so I can do some more tweaking because I had to start from scratch with all my settings. So, anyway, we got December 12th, turn 6. Lodrik had some ominous warnings about the skies being red. I'm sure that means that I lost a lot of planes. So, let's tune in and find out. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Right off the bat, we got a sub attack. The I-157 hitting our ships as we are leaving the area. Man, his subs have been gnarly down here. And it's down. I've been focusing very heavily in the area around Pearl with all of my patrol craft. I've got lots of ships out there, lots of planes. I am going to war against the submarines in Pearl Harbor. I want to clear them all out. Doesn't look like we damaged them, but we kept them down. So if I can't damage them, I want to suppress them so they can't be attacking us. Especially because as the campaign goes on, we're going to have more and more ships coming into port, and I don't need them getting sunk on their way in. So to me, an anti-submarine attack is a win for us because it keeps his sub from attacking us. And again, same thing. We're probably going to see a lot of this turn. And again, a miss is not necessarily a bad thing, but keeping his sub suppressed is a win. Have his subs even missed once this campaign? I don't even know. Yeah. This ship has got fuel from Palembang on board. I'm just trying to get it out of here at this point, so um yeah. And again, we're after his subs. No problem. They won't be coming up to shoot anytime soon. And another hit. Oh, jeez, his subs have. I don't. Somebody else who's played this game more tell me, is it normal for the Japanese subs to be this effective? I don't remember when I was playing as Japan, my subs doing what these subs are doing. Unfortunately, he misses this patrol craft. All right, so he's landing at turn 8. I've already pulled out of there, so I guess he gets a free one on us. Our Dutch sub off the coast of Saigon is being engaged by the Arashio. For as bad as our anti-submarine efforts are, the Japanese ones are typically even worse, especially at the early part of the war. We looks like we take a hit to engines there. So here I am talking about bad Japanese anti-submarine work, and he gets a hit on us. And another hit. Oh, man. This is going to be an issue here. We take 3 hits, and it indicated some damage, so I'm going to have to look at that ship in a little bit and see what we've done, what's been done to it. My Dutch submarines have been suffering pretty bad here at Saigon. It might be the shallow water. I don't know. We may need to find another place for them to be right now. But we at least get a hit. Get a 1 torpedo and a fire into one of his AKs. Back at Pearl Harbor with the submarine craziness going on there. Swing and a miss at one of our patrol craft, and I'm happy with that too because he's wasting ammunition doing it. There's a finite amount of torpedoes on his sub, so if he's shooting at my patrol craft and missing, that's also a win, because eventually he's going to have to send him back for ammo, and that might be an opportunity for us to get ships in. Okay, so now he's got he's moved his Japanese subs into the Makassar Strait, so we're gonna have to get serious in this area now about dealing with this. All right, it appears that he's also gotten serious about dealing with my subs. He's put out a lot of anti-submarine assets here off the coast of Saigon, so we need to relocate these subs now. The secret's out about these, and he's obviously quadrupled up on his anti-submarine aircraft, or rather his task forces here. So I'm gonna find a new home for these Dutch subs. I can't keep losing them out here for nothing. So our S-39 in the Baton Gap is attacking some of his destroyers. Let's see how this works out for us. This should be deep water, so I'm not too worried about taking a lot of damage from this. All right, so he's got a sizable force here. Wasted a lot of depth charges, and we take no damage. That's good. All right. Some China air attacks here. Oh, those Alps are at it again. This time they don't hit anything. I can't believe he's using these. Every single turn we've seen these Alps dropping these little pea shooter bombs. This is a much larger attack now at Nanchang. I'm gonna have to deal with this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to deal with that. I can't be allowing that to happen. We take a fair amount of casualties there at Nanchang. Oh, I think we might have them this time, guys. Our P-40s are up. And he's got nothing but unescorted bombers. Let's get it. So one thing I'm noticing off the bat here with the reconfiguration of the game installed on this new PC is my text is bright white and it's bleeding in here. So we're gonna have to deal with that. I'll have to go back and see what kind of art mods I'm running and see what's causing that. But I've noticed it moving task forces and seeing the base cards and stuff that the text is all white. So if anybody knows something about this and may be able to help me figure out what's going on with this, let me know. We're getting a lot of kills here. Our P-40s are doing work. I think we caught him, guys. I don't think he was ready for this. Either he wasn't expecting the cap to be up, or the escort had a big swing and a miss. So this is good for us. Let's enjoy this. I'm gonna just sit here and let this run. Oh, darn it. That was pretty good, though. What do we get, 5 or 6? Okay, so it's showing that we got 3 Ans and 1 Sonya with 4 damage, but you know these aren't always accurate. I suspect when we get the actual turn and look at the intel report, this is going to be worse than that. So good job, P-40s, man. That was good. Oh, we get some more. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Unescorted. Yeah. We needed it. We needed a day like this. Yep. Get it. I can see why Lodrik was saying the skies were red today. I'm sure I'm going to take a lot of losses too, but he certainly is as well. We needed a day like this. Wow, we are shredding them. Ah, dang it. I need to get more P-40s over there. Okay, so it's showing that we got another 3 aircraft killed, possibly more. We take no losses on the ground. Great job, P-40s. Great showing today. All right. Unfortunately, now we're kind of out of P-40s, so this attack will go unchecked. But let's take note here. He is escorting the aircraft flying out of Canton with both Nates and Tojos. But the aircraft attacking over by Kukong and over to the more to the east have been coming in unescorted. So he's going to have to figure that one out. More of the same out of Canton, I suspect. We don't have any aircraft that can challenge it right now. But I think we did what we needed to do earlier. Take a few more casualties. Sonias typically don't carry much of a bomb load anyway. Big raid here. These are big, large twin-engine bomber raid on my troops retreating from Kwaite. And there's just nothing I can do to stop these. I don't have the air assets to oppose this. We take a lot of casualties here. And this is clear terrain, so that's to be expected that we're going to take a lot of hits. But you know what? I got to move these troops out of here, and we're just going to take losses doing it. This is unavoidable. Sonya's out of Sama, hitting at Pakoi. And some more Idas hitting us here, and I think our P-40s are basically spent, so we're unable to defend that. These twin-engine bombers here, these Lilies, I think they may be coming out of Takao or Pescadores, because he's got so many aircraft based out of Canton. He's got to be running out of room there. These are probably coming in from a bit further. And Ida Raid, he's hitting the same unit, leaving Kwaite. Some casualties. Again, Idas don't carry much of a bomb load either, like the Sonyas. More Sonya softening up. I bet you he's going to hit us here on the ground attack phase. So these are some Hudsons that I've got based at Rabaul. I had them doing a bombing attack on the forces he left at Rabaul, maybe to disrupt them a little bit and to slow down their attack, to buy us some time there. These are Blenheims coming out of Magway. We don't do any damage here, probably because of heavy cloud, but that's fine. Let's keep them off balance. Maybe I'll change the attack to a different location the next day. But we're not taking any flak or anything, so that means that this base is more or less undefended right now. Okay. So, these are B-17s coming out of Cagayan. And I decided that since he's wise to us hitting Babel Port Strike, I thought I was going to send him over to Miri and do a little damage to his oil refineries there. We just lost this base a turn or two ago. So I want to do what I can to damage the oil facilities here, because it's going to cost him a ton of supply to repair this. So I figured we could get these B-17s in here and do something, and there's no way he had aircraft in place to stop it. And my hunch was correct. We get 17 hits to oil, and that's going to really hurt him trying to get Miri back up and running. Wow, that scrolled so fast. Okay, so I decided I needed to do something here with my aircraft at Singapore. So I have elected to send a large raid to Kuantan. I noticed that the airfield was damaged and they had a lot of aircraft based there. So I was hoping that with the airfield being damaged, that would give us a chance to get some aircraft in there and do some damage to aircraft on the ground. So I did have some bombers going there too. I don't see them yet, but our Buffaloes are there, and hopefully they can do some damage to his aircraft here. I hope. If he continues to get a lot of aircraft up in cap, though, it's going to be curtains for these Buffaloes. Yeah, and it might be curtains. We're not doing too good here. Um, let's just get let's get through this because it's not looking too great. So we do get some aircraft through, do a little bit of damage, but it appears that the airfield damage that he had there at Quantum was not enough to keep his fighters from getting up into the air. So I think this was a bad idea for me to send this raid. In hindsight, you can see what we committed to this: 7 Hudsons, 3 Blenheims, and 32 Buffaloes total. That's more or less what I got at Singapore, and it did not go well. We don't do allegedly we do no damage to his aircraft, but we lose 9 of ours, probably more, for a negligible result. So that's the end of that. I can't lose aircraft like that. This was a bad idea, but I had to do something. So these Blenheims out of Rangoon are coming in to do little damage at Rabang, just because. We appear to be getting some hits, which is good. All right, so we do a little bit of damage to the airfield at Rabang. I don't know how serious it's going to be, but long term, if he wants to hit Rangoon, Chiang Mai and Rabang are very important airfields for the Japanese because they can build them up quite large, and it puts them in very close range to everything here in Burma. So if I can do a little pinprick damage to these airfields right now, it's just going to help me later on. And we got some residual from the first raid coming in here. It's probably going to go about the same as the last one. So let's just go ahead and get to the end of it. We lose 1 Buffalo. He takes no losses. It looks like we get out of there without much more damage than that. So Makistar Strait, he's still got a sub there, wasting torpedoes on a destroyer. So I got to get something there to address these subs that he's got in place, because he's going to hurt our retreat out of the Philippines by being here. Something sank there. I didn't get a good look at it. Yeah, my new computer's so fast that it's going through all these reports before I have a chance to read them, so I'll need to work on that. So we have a Japanese bombardment attack here at this hex, which was a very important road junction for me retreating out of southeast China. So I know Lodrik likes to typically use these bombardment attacks to see what he's up against, and in this particular situation, we get the better of him. We've got way more troops there than he's got, and we actually destroy a few of his squads. So that was a win for us here. All right, so now here's the big one. We have the first attack at Hong Kong. I'm hoping we can hold out for at least a day or two, but the forces that we have there are pretty weak, and he's coming in with a full division and a lot of artillery. So let's see how this goes. All right, so we hold out. Um, he reduces the fort level to 2. I thought it was already at 2, so it does not appear that he did a lot of damage to the fortifications. He takes 668 casualties. We take 608, which is a disproportionate loss because he has way more troops than we do right off the bat. But we hold out for a turn. Maybe we can hold out for a couple more turns. All right, so we have another attack here, Hawaiian. This is a pretty standard attack that's destined to happen um, at the beginning of the campaign. But once again, we seem to hold out. Um, we don't. No one loses any troops here. He doesn't take it, so it's tying him up. That being said, he's only coming at us with this RGC Temp Division, which are typically pretty crappy troops. But he's literally attacking a headquarters unit, and he's not taking it out. So I'll take that as a win. This might have been the slowest turn we've had yet. Wow, that was fast. I'll be interested to see the intel report. That's coming up next. Okay, guys, I'm back with the intel report. So I did a little troubleshooting as to why um, the in-game messages were scrolling so fast, and I actually found that I had a setting set incorrectly. So under the message delay here, it's at 0.1 seconds. So I want that a bit more. So I'm going to set it to 1.1 so I actually have a chance to read some of these things when they scroll through. So on the following turns, there should be a little bit more time to read the messages, like when we have a submarine attack or when a ship gets sunk or something like that. We'll see them going forward. New computer, new settings. I missed that, but we fixed it. So let's get right into the intel report. This round, we did a little better in the air than the previous one. Obviously, it hasn't been good for us, but we did better than we have been in the past. So let's go straight to aircraft losses. For today, we lost 10 Buffaloes, and those were over Kuantan in Malaya because of my ill-fated attack there. I won't be doing that again. But we did really good against his aircraft in China. We have some P-40s there that I moved from the Philippines, and I don't think he was prepared for that. So he lost 5 Ans, 5 Sonias, actually 6 and 5, which is great for us. We need everything we can get. We lost 5 Hudsons. Again, those were probably mostly over Malaya on that bad attack that I made. And then the rest is an assorted bag of ops losses and such. But overall, a much better day in the Air Force. So we lose 19 aircraft. He loses 15. This is the closest it's been since we started the campaign. So I'm really proud of that. Good job in the air today, guys. If we look at top pilots, we have 4 MIA, 3 wounded in action, and 8 KIA. So we have a high likelihood of getting at least 3 pilots back. Maybe we can recover 1 or 2 of these MIA pilots at some point. You need to look in the operations report every day to see if you can rediscover pilots that are missing in action. Unfortunately, with the KIA, it is what it is. They're not coming back. Don't have any aces yet, but we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully, we can start getting some. These P-40s over here, we're having a good day. So maybe we can get a couple aces out of these guys in China. So let's look at the ships sunk. Again, not a great day for us, but it could have been a lot worse. We only lose 3 ships this turn. He loses none that we know of. These 2 are kind of big losses. They're good ships, and these were loaded with fuel out of Palembang. And unfortunately, his submarines off the coast of Surabaya took these out. Same for this Dutch AP. All lost near Semarang, Surabaya. But one nice thing here is that while I don't get the fuel out of Palembang, neither does he. So whatever these ships were carrying has been lost to the sea. So that's that much less fuel that he's going to get out of Palembang. I'm trying to find a silver lining in an otherwise bad situation. I would have loved to have the fuel for myself, but if I can't have it, I don't want him to have it either. All right. So Army losses, to be expected. Ours are quite high, and they're going to be high for a long time. But we are inflicting a little bit of damage on him, which is good. So this is the overall situation intelligence report as we have it right now. Still losing a lot of ships, but I'm trying to find ways to mitigate that, and I think we're starting to. But we have a couple situations coming up here in our campaign that I'm going to show you that I think we may end up dealing with some ship losses going forward. So let's take a quick look at the overall situation, and I'm going to show you what I think is going on. The first situation I want to show you is here in the Hawaiian Islands. If you look here, you'll see that a lot of his submarines are being pushed further back. We've had a very strong anti-submarine presence around Hawaii, and you can see that his subs are getting increasingly pushed further and further away from the islands. That's probably due to the amount of aircraft that I have on anti-submarine patrol, mixed with these anti-sub patrol task forces. So if we can continue to push these subs further out, they're going to have to fan out, and the density of the subs is going to decrease. So we can start finding gaps to get our ships through. So I would say overall, what we're doing in Hawaii has been effective with the subs. We've only lost 1 ship to a torpedo so far out in the Hawaiian Islands, and we're pushing his subs further away from the island. So overall, good job here. If we scroll over this way, we no longer have eyes on that second carrier task force. I was hoping that my scouting assets at Wake would find them, but they haven't. We still see this remnant of the Kido Butai heading back towards Japan. Obviously, I think there's more here than what it's showing, but they're is that other carrier task force that he split up here. And again, if I were a betting man, I would say it's moving through the Marshall Islands and heading down towards Rabaul and Port Moresby. So hopefully we can get eyes on that soon in the next couple days, just so I know where that's at. We have spotted some sort of task force here. I don't think it's the carrier task force that he split up, because it was over here. I don't think he could cover that much ground in one turn. This might just be an unrelated task force out here in the Marshall Islands doing Marshall Island things. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this whole area over here. And we'll also keep an eye on this task force while we have eyes on it. Probably within a turn or two, it's going to move out of range and we won't see it anymore. And we can say goodbye to Kido Butai until they make their presence known again somewhere else in the following days or weeks. Over here in the Dutch East Indies, something interesting happened last turn. His carrier task force here, that he seems to be moving through the Java Sea. So he started up here near Mersing, and he's been transiting this way, doing damage and destruction all the way through. But last turn, he launched no strikes. So I don't know if that was by accident or by design. Maybe he had bad weather, or maybe he's holding off for another attack. But he's continuing to press through the Java Sea, and I'm concerned that he's going to swing up north of the Makassar Strait, which personally I think is a mistake, because I have a lot of surface ships in this area. While none of them are particularly large, there's a lot of them. So if it's his intention to come up through here, I think that would be a huge mistake. So if he was smart, the safest way to egress out of here would be back the way he came from, because I just don't have much to stop him. But if he wants to keep pushing this way, I'm going to do something about that, because I don't want this guy getting into the Makassar Strait, because this is my escape route for everything fleeing the Philippines, and I must keep this open. During the last turn, or during this turn, we had a lot of submarine activity in this area right here. He appears to be blockading these two hexes in between the Makassar Strait and the Celebes Sea. So I'm going to be moving some assets in to address this, because I do not want his submarines operating in this area. It's too confined. So everything I've got coming this way has got to go through here. So I'll keep your eye out for this area. It's going to be hot. This whole region I expect to have a lot of activity in the next few turns. I'm hoping he turns these guys around and gets out of here. But if he wants to keep pushing down this way, I'm going to deal with this. So come on, Lodrik. Make a move, buddy. I'm ready for you. Turn around and go home. Let me see. What else is good? Things are going well up here in Rangoon. We're consolidating, getting things together. I don't want to say too much about what we're doing, but I haven't seen much activity here. Granted, it's only the 13th of December, so it usually takes the Japanese player a little bit of time to get their butt in gear in Thailand to start mounting an offense. I'm sure once he finishes this off in Singapore, all those forces will be shifted north to deal with us up here in Rangoon. But I promise you that we'll be ready when he gets there. I'm not giving up without a fight. We're not giving up Rangoon. We're not walking out of here. He's going to have to pry from our cold, dead hands. In China, we actually got a little something going on here in Indochina. I actually took this base last turn. While it basically gives us nothing, there's no value there. I just want to keep a little bit of pressure somewhere. I think he may have some units here in one of these two bases, but if he doesn't, maybe we can do a quick grab in one of these two just to disrupt him a little bit. So whatever this unit is here, this Chinese corps, I'm going to keep moving towards Hanoi, and we'll see what's there. If it looks like he's got a strong presence, probably not going to attack it, but if it's wide open, why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt us at all to take a little something off the plate for him and just keep him distracted. So keep an eye over here in Indochina. We'll see what we can do with that. He's consolidating for some sort of blocking effort here. And if you see here, he's got this unit moving this way. But that's actually not a bad thing for me. I want him to move here. We have a large force here. The terrain is clear, but that is bad for me and bad for him. So I'll keep him pinned down here while we continue our withdrawal from Southeast China. We're obviously going to steer around here and continue this way to consolidate and build a line kind of along this way right here. Also, withdrawing troops out of this part of China. We've actually gotten a fair amount of troops out so far. We continue to hold on despite outrageous odds here in Huayin. This Lusu War area here has been doing work. Granted, we're only up against an RGC division, but we haven't lost it yet. So I think that's a win in itself. So if we can keep holding out here, we'll just keep them distracted. I see the beginnings of one of his death columns, one of his super stacks forming here. He's going to be looking for a move on Changcha or Loyang or even Xiao Tso. But I continue to consolidate here. We're building fortifications. We got lots of supply here, so we got rough terrain here for him. So if he wants to attack this, it's going to cost him. And we're going to continue to build up at Loyang. Additionally, we have another death stack here coming in from Wuchang. We're going to pull back and make a stand here at Changsha. I think I got a little something here. That's a fair amount of activity, fair amount of troops to hold this spot. So I'm hoping to build a nice strong perimeter here and put a stop to this unit. I don't think he would even attempt to attack here yet. I don't think he's strong enough to take this head on. But every day he doesn't, we're going to get stronger and stronger. We had an attack at Hong Kong last turn. We repelled it. I don't know if we can continue to repel, but we're going to hold out as long as we can. I give Hong Kong 1 to 2 more turns before it falls. It's inevitable that it will, but we're going to do what we can to slow them down. And then right here is where our P-40s are based currently at Kukong. We've gotten a fair amount of kills so far out of this unit with not too many losses, so hopefully we can repeat that success in following turns and disrupt his activity here in this area. So keep an eye on these P-40s. You may get a couple aces out of these guys before the end of this campaign. No major activity here in the Philippines, which is good. We need time to consolidate. We're continuing to pull back to our fallback positions. I was able to get a unit moved up in here into Batangas, and what I think it's doing is actually fixing him here. These troops are not moving anywhere yet because I think he's concerned about losing his foothold right here. So we've got him pinned down for the moment. He may elect to continue branching out, but he can't weaken up too much because we may be able to counterattack. So this unit's going to stay here and keep him busy while we continue to retreat to Clark Field for our last stand. Clark Field, because of the terrain, jungle rough versus regular jungle, is actually more defendable than Bataan. So I am going to be making my last stand at Clark. Hopefully we can put up a good fight here. The key here is getting the fortifications built up, and unfortunately with his bombing attacks doing what they're doing, it's been hard to make progress on the fortifications, but we have a lot of engineer assets building up here, so I'm hoping that the amount of damage he's inflicting is going to continue to be less than what we can actually repair every turn, so we can get these fortifications built, because he's coming at us with everything he's got. We've got units here, and a large unit here moving down here with a lot of armored assets. So we need to do our best to hold at Clark Field as long as possible. I've moved all the supplies to Clark Field, so we have everything we need to hold out for a while. So we'll see what happens there. Makasar Strait again, I already covered that. Amiri, we had a very successful bombing raid here last turn. We hit his oil output pretty hard. I didn't think he'd have any aircraft there to defend it, and I think it will be some time before he can get it. So we're going to continue to hit Miri for a couple more turns until he catches on and wises up to it, and then we'll find somewhere else to attack. But I want to do as much damage to the oil capacity as possible, because that's going to cost him a lot of supply to repair. So the more that we damage it now, the less he'll get out of it later on. I think that's basically all the exciting stuff right now. One last thing we can cover is Naval. We're still holding. He came in kind of weak. I don't know if he's got enough right now to take it. He might, but I don't know. Naval will fall. It just depends on how soon. So we'll keep an eye on this. I may think it might be about time to move these Hudsons out of here, because if Naval does fall, I don't want to lose these aircraft just because I didn't move them proactively. And then we're going to continue to build up Port Moresby and do what we can with that. Again, I think that's it for now. If you have any questions or you think I missed something important, by all means, post a comment and I'll answer your question. Come over to my Discord, ask a question. I'll answer it for you as best I can. I'm still dialing in the settings on this new computer with the in-game settings. As you saw during the combat replay, things were scrolling through super fast. I couldn't even see it. At first, I thought it was because my computer was just so awesome that it was too fast for it, but come to find out it was a preference. So I fixed that. So following turns will have more detail. We can actually read what's going on and digest the action. But overall, this turn was pretty calm. We lost some stuff, but it wasn't awful. The air battle was surprisingly good for us. So we may have pumped the brakes on Lodrik just for a little bit. I don't know how long we can keep him slowed down, but I'll take something other than a complete blowout, and I'll count that as a win. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to get this turn done tonight and get it back to Lodrik so we can keep turning and burning on this. Y'all have a good one.